And we're back.
Purple.
What?
It worked.
Uh,
I distracted you.
right. Alright, we were just talking about the pineal gland and
The third eye.
hypothesis that if the human eye is made to perceive light waves, then the pineal gland would be an organ that is made to perceive other waves that do not need to go through a clear substance that allows light through. So
Couldn't go through any substance.
right. So
Seems how you interpret all of the different things.
right. We have skin, a dermis that perceives physical things like liquids, solids, and stuff like that. So by that we can feel
Which is touch.
the the wavelengths of certain materials through our skin. We can perceive energy wavelengths as in sound through our ears, chemical reaction wavelengths through our tongue and nose for taste and smell, which are essentially the same exact thing. And we can perceive light wavelengths through our eyes. So we're almost entirely no more than a giant mechanism of perception. We are made to take in information about these vibrations. I would actually believe that maybe we have an ability to sense direction, or at least some of us do. So we can sense whichever direction we need to, north, south, east, west, just from the feel of everything around us. Birds can do that. It's another perception of energy, because that energy is actually the wavelength of electromagnetic pull from gravity. So that could be one of the things that we're able to sense with the pineal gland, because that is a wavelength that is so large that our skull would amplify it. And in amplifying it, it would make it so that we could know direction, possibly barometric pressures, almost anything,
Temperature.
just by our sensory organs, which we are essentially just a big sensory organ with a heart powering, lungs and other things. So, wow, giant sensory organ. Want to see my organ?
Or a small sensory organ.
A what?
Or a really small sensory organ.
A really small sensory organ. Alright, so we've talked about the nature of the universe, how things move, how those things moving create vibrations. Those vibrations go over a period of distance. And I think with the whole period of distance really shows by like solids, because that's a finite distance for each atom. But with things like light, that you have a distance that can go on for possibly ever. Light travels at a certain wavelength, and it's thought that that's the fastest that anything can go. But really, in thinking of it as it's just that wavelength coming at us, it's not a particle, so it could essentially, if you could perceive it from somewhere, go as far as it needs to. So an endless amount of distance that it can affect. Then you have gravity, which is actually electromagnetic field, which is a vibration of sorts. It's sort of what pulls everything together. It is what pulls everything together. Man.
Lost your train of thought.
No. It's just I feel like I keep on going over the same thing over and over again, and I'm barely understanding it. I'm going over this in my mind, and I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it that would be simple.
Well, things are not always simple.
Well, I know, but I like
Talking
simple.
especially when you're talking about the universe is not simple. The human body is not simple. The human hearing is not simple. The human sight is not simple.
But yet,
But at the same time, it all is.
yes.
It's just trying to figure out where the simpleness that comes together to become simple.
All right. So the vibration of the atom creates energy. The energy in the wood prevents me to go through it. The energy in the air allows me to submerge myself in it and move through it freely, or as freely as I could imagine.
And the energy that is me will not let me go through you. I could go.
You're way touchy-feely. You know that?
Yeah, I know. It's because I'm not afraid of touching another human being.
And then you look at something like a chemical reaction that creates light, or yeah, anything that creates light is a reaction that's happening, and what comes off of that energy that's being created, which is heat, light, and energy, sometimes sound, depending on the chemical that they use, will create a sphere of energy going outward. And that's the light, that's the heat, and each one of the types of energies stops at a certain distance. So, the heat I can't feel from over here, but if I get closer, I'll be able to feel it.
Yeah.
The energy is stuck within this glass that the light bulb is. The light from the energy being transferred is going outwardly and even going outside the house.
Just very dimly.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're able to perceive knowingly certain wavelengths from these certain atoms, certain reactions, certain vibrations. So yeah.
By the way, that light does have a sound always coming from it. It's just maybe from in a frequency that our ears can't pick up. Other animals or insects and that kind of thing would probably be able to hear that sound.
You're gonna get it. The sound is the light. The sound is the heat.
Everything is, yeah.
It's the sound is a vibration, and everything coming off of that is a vibration. The light is a vibration. The
So-
energy going through it is a vibration.
Because what you're saying is, like I said yesterday, everything is a reflection of itself. The energy created in that bulb is reflecting and multiplying based on the energy that is created around it, reflecting and expanding.
The chemicals within the light bulb are being vibrated at a certain frequency because of the electromagnetic force going through it via the electricity.
Well, yes, but which is reflecting an energy that is light.
We are perceiving that speed that reaction creates.
As light.
as light. We perceive it as light. All it is a vibration, just like sound is coming from my voice, or the sun tugging slightly on the Earth, keeping us in an orbit that makes life possible.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So the sun is the heart. At least to our galaxy, universe, where we are right here.
Our solar system.
Yeah.
Yes, the sun is the heart, and so is the Earth, so is the moon. And what affects the heart is not only us, but also every other planet. And the heart is connected to a much larger heart where there are many, many others like us surrounding it, just like the planets are surrounding our sun, just like the moon surrounds our Earth. And these vibrations are creating some sort of magnetic field to keep everything in the approximate place where it's supposed to be. And that's the same thing that happens with the atoms, all the way up to the planetary systems, the galactic systems. Nope, that's a Sharpie. Don't even. So we perceive vibrations. Vibrations are in atoms. Vibrations are in thought, light, sound,
Heat, touch.
yes. So it's a universe of vibrations that create electromagnetic fields that we perceive as feeling, tasting, seeing, hearing,
We are the repairmen. Right?
thinking.
The repairmen.
We are the observers. We experience everything. We are created to experience. We are observers. We are observers. We are here to experience. We are made up of... We are controlled by thought, but made up of...
Vibration. And
Made up of organs meant to sense vibrations.
we're made up of vibrations as well. I mean, atoms are
Atoms
vibrations.
create vibrations, which... Yes.
Therefore, we are vibrations.
Yes.
Which
Everything is a vibration.
And what is a vibration?
I think we're going crazy.
Adrian, what is a vibration?
It's a wavelength.
A vibration be a reflection of something that was previous to it. Your voice echoes. What is an echo? An echo is a reverberation. Which is a reflection, in a way. It's a reflection of sound going outward.
A reflection is
I
when
know.
Something
Something
can
bounces back.
bounce off it.
That bounces off of the particles around everything to make sound. The vibrations are bouncing off of each other to make sound, which is the wavelength. So an atom, every atom is making a vibration, which is reflecting off of the other atoms around it, which is creating the energy.
All right. A reflection of itself. Okay. Yes. I'll go with that. Yes.
Because it is reflecting everything from it. You know, everything is everything, and it's reflecting to make what is everything.
All right. And what I'm thinking of when you're saying that is a
Like if you're
drop in a bucket.
Like if you're staring in, yeah,
A drop in a bucket.
yeah,
Because the energy goes outward, reflects off of everything back in, and then starts the process over again. Combining and
Reforming.
expanding every single time it goes back over. Evolving every single time that it goes back and reflects off of itself.
Yes.
I like that word. Evolve. Evolve.
I'll evolve your face.
Ew. Alright, so we've narrowed the universe down to vibrations,
Reflections.
reflections, reverberations, wavelengths. Which everything is a wavelength of something.
And a wavelength is all of those things as well.
A wavelength is what happens from the vibration of the atom. And it goes through
It's the thing.
certain space.
Yeah.
Okay, are you done? Alright, so hopefully we understand the universe now a little bit better. Maybe we do.
Purple.
Did you say that at the beginning of this one?
42.
Yes, we have answered all the questions of the universe.
But there are still so many more.
Yes, but they'll all stem back to the same thing, and it will be vibrations.
And math. What's the distance between those vibrations?
Math. You know, I almost think that math is the thought process of how we interpret
Everything.
some of the vibrations.
Well, no, it's how we determine it. It's how we determine everything. That's why some people have.
Well,
better sight,
it
some
was
people have
once
better hearing.
said that math is the language of God.
You know why I said 42, by the way?
Because it's the answer to everything.
Do you know why it's the answer to everything?
Because when the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Because if you take the numerical value of M, A, T, and H and add them together, it equals 42.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Wait, did we just solve a question from a
Fictional
novel?
book. Yes.
Oh my god!
Well,
We solved the question.
It's not we. That's something that's been hypothesized by many people for a long time.
Well, of course, but nobody's ever gotten it down for everybody to see, I think.
I'm pretty sure
I
they
haven't.
have.
Well, I haven't seen it. Maybe somebody will like to go and think about these things and how they work. And I'm tired. It's late.
I mean, think about it, Adrian. We perceive light as a distance. How fast light travels, that is math. Light travels at X amount and blah, 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 blah. The addition, you find out everything. That's math. To get this thing running, working properly, you have to have the proper measurements and all the cables in their exact right positions. If one of them gets loose slightly, it can disconnect something and make it not work. That's math.
You know, that brings me to a funny question.
Purple.
And that is, we perceive light. And light is a wavelength.
Your wavelength.
Since it's a wavelength, what happens if you have a shallower wavelength that goes, okay, a wavelength goes, you imagine a wavelength as something going from one spot to another and going up and down, 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 up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which is a vibration.
Right. So if light goes at a certain level, what happens if that level is able to almost disappear so it can go faster? I mean, the smaller it gets, the faster it can go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, by that theory, if I could, if I could do the math for it, that would mean that there would have to be something, something from somewhere that could very possibly go faster than light.
Thought.
I wasn't going to say it right away
Well, why dance around and beat around the bush?
because it adds suspense when you pause for a little while.
You paused and I said it,
Ah, damn you.
which means that we were thinking the same thing, which is thought. It transferred me from one person to the other because we're both thinking the same thing because we've been discussing that thing.
Yes. But yet, why were we thinking the same thing? Is it because the pineal gland was observing vibrations that weren't its own, and then were able to?
Or is it the fact that we've been discussing it for the past 15 minutes now, or 10 minutes, or...
47 minutes, not including the cigarette break.
Well, then you're going to pause for later. I want to go home soon.
I think we've made it to the end of what we can do right now without math.
I'll show you the end.
Really.
It's right here. This is the end of the cup. That's the end of your elbow.
You know, I actually thought you were going to do something a little more clever than that. Remember, there is no camera recording you. It's all audio. So if you were to go and do something audible that was more humorous,
Meh.
it would actually come out better.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? They lose it to their imagination for them to perceive what I did.
Yeah, but they hear me, they hear you, and they're going to be thinking that something nasty is going on.
Meh.
Alright, cool.
Why do you care what they think? We're discussing with things in a personal space and recording it. So apparently we don't care what they think. Why otherwise would we be recording what we're doing?
You know, that's a damn good point. I think it's because I want information. I mean, if somebody could do the math for this hypothesis, I mean, it would change the world.
Or that person would be killed.
What if everybody did it at the same time? They can kill everybody once.
Oh, yes, they can. They've got enough nukes.
But then they'd die too.
They have holes. Moles,
Wait, won't we die once we put this up then?
moles know how to hide very well underneath ground.
You know, it feels like we're getting towards politics when we're talking about war. So, atoms vibrate. And we are able to perceive the vibrations through various sensory organs, from skin, skin, nose, mouth, eyes, and pineal gland.
In your face.
And yeah. Oh yeah, and the vibrations actually create a electromagnetic field, which is why everything is either tangible or intangible.
And the reflection and everything.
So that would actually mean that this piece of wood is actually me just seeing the outside portion of the atom's electromagnetic field. I'm seeing the vibrations because light is bouncing off of it, and it's changing the vibrations just slightly, so I see it as a different color.
And those atoms are designed in a different way so that the light bounces and reflects back and forth to make it show us something different.
And whenever the energy moves, it disperses its energy among where it goes.
Yes.
When we take electricity out of the socket, that's electricity that was
Built through using an object from far away and transferred via something that was conductive.
something that could conduct the vibrations.
Yep.
But yet, if everything is energy, then shouldn't there be a way to use all that energy that's constantly being
Well, yes,
made and used all at the same time?
that's what Tesla hypothesized, I know.
Lots of people have hypothesized. I mean, I bet there's a way to use every single material that there is in a way to get its energy. I mean, quartz, you put a little bit of energy into it and it vibrates like crazy.
That's the idea of the Matrix, using humans as a vibration, as an energy source.
But there would be so much of an easier way than that with technology that advanced.
But
Of course, that was all war technology, so I guess it would be all against the opposing side.
creators.
Hmm?
It could also be the fact that it was something that was created. Talking about the Matrix. What are you talking about?
I was talking about the Matrix also,
Okay.
but you just threw me for a loop.
The robots rebelled against their creators and took over their creators and enslaved them and used them as a power source because they needed something, and that was actually one of the easiest things to gather power from.
Whoa, hold on. You're talking about a different. I'm talking about physics.
Oh, I was talking about the movie.
You're talking about an emotional feeling that the movie gives and how it gives it. I'm talking about the physics of how energy
Well, yes.
could very possibly be extracted from everything.
Well, yeah.
Everything.
Yes. And
Fairly easily.
I was giving an example of a movie that was already made that had an idea like that. If humans, you could take a human and extract the energy from a human as long as you had the technology to do it.
I think of
It's kind of like
truly, the ultimate ability of energy being the possibility of cold fission.
fission. You.
I mean, I don't think cold fusion is very, very likely to be experienced. But I think cold fission, maybe. Fission is where the atom is pulled apart. Fusion is where it's put together.
Yes.
If it's pulled apart, it goes into something smaller. If it's put together, it goes into something bigger. Which the
furniture.
fusion is what the sun does on a constant.
Kind of like what a nail does, with fusing something together for making furniture, that kind of stuff, some concept.
Yeah. And then fission is it being pulled apart some way. Fission is what we do with a nuclear explosion, with
Making
nuclear
something
power, making heat. Fission creates heat, and enough heat is also light, and that's how the energy is dispersed by heat, light, sound.
Touch. The feeling. Touch is just how we perceive things.
I was talking about the gathering of the creation of energy through nuclear fission, through hot fission. I think there's going to be a way to do.
You said cold fission.
Huh?
You said cold fission.
I did. Hot fission is what the atom bomb did.
Oh, okay. The explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the implosion.
Cold fission is still an explosion, but it's without heat. It creates only energy, so that could be a very possibly just some sort of vibration that can be utilized for a very, very extreme amount of energy. That's not getting light or heat out of it, but just getting pure energy out of it.
I mean, kind of like
Cold fission.
what we perceive as a black hole. It's eating everything and gathering the energy of everything. Kind of like we as humans, we have to gather the energy from anything to survive, otherwise we pass away.
I don't know about that.
That's well, no. If we don't eat food, if we stop eating and drinking, a human will die. You have to gather the energy from food, the nutrients, not the energy that is created within that plant when it's growing.
I'm starting to wonder if we're no more than just, walking, talking representation of something else.
Oh, no shit. That's obvious.
No, I mean in a way that could very possibly be demonstrated through a mathematical equation. Because nobody's done it yet, as far as I know.
It's the same concept, aliens. Of course, what we would perceive as aliens is anything that looks slightly different than us. So
I really don't know how you get some of these similarities, because they sound really, really out of left and right field. Like foul ball left field. they do. Out of Aliens? I mean, Aliens is them finding a creature and trying to go and make it morph with a human to create a hybrid soldier. Of course, they don't say all that, but that's really what they wanted to do. And
I wasn't talking about a movie that time.
You weren't talking about aliens?
No, I was talking about something that is not human. A being that is intelligent, that is not human. Something out in the universe, above this world, that is not human. And, something that because we put a name on it, it is alien to us. Therefore, whatever out there that might, have created its own intelligence out there would be alien.
I really don't like the word alien. I don't know why. I think it comes up too much in political aspects.
Well, yes, but alien is the proper term for something that is different than what we perceive.
But why do we have to label things that are different?
We don't have to. We choose to.
I don't choose to anymore.
You're labeling vibrations as everything.
Yeah, I'm not labeling anything as different.
Don't label your face.
I don't want a tattoo on my face.
I didn't say I was going to use a tattoo gun. Never mind. We're recording. I won't say that one.
Good. Yeah. It needs to be PG-17 or something. I don't know.
PGX.
PGX. Oddly enough, X used to be the rating given to movies that had no other rating. They were actually considered B films that couldn't get a rating, so they just got X.
PG XX.
I don't know what to say to that. Alright,
Wow, chicka bow. Wow.
So, the world's made up of little balls circling other little balls, and... Well, it is. I mean, you have the smallest thing that we can perceive as an atom.
I know.
Which is a ball. With electrons and balls going around them.
Is what you're saying is we're all made of balls.
Yes! We are! Our cells, or if they weren't held in place by gravity.
Of balls.
Yes!
All balls you.
I believe that you would. You sick of it.
I've just done it.
You're gonna make me not want tea anymore. Sick mother. Alright, so the world is a whole bunch of balls creating vibrations. Some of them good.
Some of them great.
Ooh. I love those good
Some of them
vibrations.
better.
We perceive vibrations through certain organs
And release
in
of
certain
chemicals.
ways,
Reactions to chemicals and release of chemicals.
which creates vibrations.
Like your face is vibration.
My face is vibrations.
I'll
Yes.
vibrate your face.
I'm so glad you thought to say that.
Because I just did.
Alright, so we unraveled the mysteries of the universe without math, I think. And purple. So, yeah. What's our next subject?
42.
We just did that subject, remember?
That is the ultimate subject.
Yeah, but we just put the idea out there so somebody else can go and do 42.
Oh, 42, your face.
Would you like some pie?
No. Because there's sugar in pie.
3.1459.
I'm going to turn your thingamajig off now.
Don't. Stop it. Alright. Well, that has been our conversation about the universe and all goings on within the universe. And I think we've come to a conclusion that we cannot back up with math, so maybe someday somebody can help us with it. Who knows? Think. Think hard. And never stop thinking.
Do the math.
And that's you. See you next time when we choose something else to talk about.